All right, guys. So today I'm going to look at a lot of the records and footage from the WRPF American Pro that happened on Saturday and Sunday, or Friday and Saturday, something like that. Now, the most notable things were John Haack, his performance, Danny Grigsby, and Andrew House. And then also we can't sleep on Derek Thistlewaite. He also had a pretty crazy performance. And just some crazy stuff in general. So let's give a breakdown of everything. So let's look at Andrew House here. Now Andrew House, actually, I've talked to him a bunch in the past, and we've messaged back and forth. I believe he still lives in Jacksonville, Florida, or Jacksonville, North Carolina. So I met him there one time for a meet that my wife was doing. Really awesome guy. Young lifter, one of the best young lifters, and smashed a 24.64 total at this meet, which is just absurd. So 953 squat opener here. This is in reps. 953 squat opener, 1014. I believe he got called for depth on this one. And then, are they going to show it again? So this was the 1014. He retook it. I mean, look at this. Is crazy, though. Blood dripping down the face, hitting his forehead on the bar. Now, I've never done this personally, honestly. I've never hit my forehead on the bar or anything, but, I mean, that's pretty crazy. That's just like a next level of crazy. And honestly, having that kind of weight on your back, I just can't even fathom. I can't even fathom anymore having like 700 pounds on my back. It's just like so far removed from that time. But the crazy thing here on his bench, 545, this 545 is without wrist wraps. So this is something I started doing when I came off cycle. I started doing all my training without wrist wraps because it just feels better, and it feels like you strengthen your wrists and forearms to a greater degree. So this is really impressive, though. 545 with no wrist wraps. You don't really see that too often. Looks like he's also using the suicide grip. So interesting. I don't know. I'll have to ask him about that. This guy's built like a house, though. See what I did there? But no, he really is, though. 545 suicide grip, ridiculous. I forget what it's called, the bulldog grip. I don't even know the subtleties as far as the differences between the bulldog grip and the suicide grip, but that's pretty crazy to be attempting that kind of weight like that. This was the 904. So initially, I was a little critical of this lift because right here from the front, the lockout looks a little soft. Looks like his knees might be bent a little, and it looks like his shoulders might not be back. Now, I will say that I have seen a side view of this very same lift, and it does look much cleaner. So, I'm going to tend to give the benefit of the doubt here because I have seen the side view. I don't know has the side view been posted? I saw a side view, but it was not posted. It was like I had a message of it, and it looked much cleaner than this. But I will admit from the front, it looks a little sketchy as far as the lockout. Now, this is more of a grip-related thing, I think, as far as the lockouts. When you have a soft lockout like this from the front, it's generally the grip tends to be slipping to some degree. But like I said, from the side, it looked much cleaner. It looked like he was more upright with it, so hard to say for sure. And I know he's been working on his grip to a tremendous extent. So we'd have to see the side view on that one, but, it could go either way, I feel like, is a reasonable thing. Now let's go to Blake LeHou. So let's see what we got here, guys. Is it going to log me out? No. So Andrew House, was this the number one performance all time at 308? I don't know. It might have been the number one performance all time. Hard to say for sure. But apparently he went 6 for 9 and he still totaled 24.63, which is pretty crazy. Let's see what we got here. So this was about a 25-pound total PR over his last meet, which is pretty ridiculous. Just to be in the 2,400 range is insane. And that meet was a year ago, so he took a year off, which was smart. Gives you a lot of time to get better. This is Blake LeHou, 2050 at 181. Unreal. So this is 728. looks like a decent squat. Depth is kind of close, but looks decent. 474 bench, very clean. He must have missed a third because that was way too easy to be a third. 804. That one looked kind of sketchy. Was that 848 or 804? I don't know. Was that both of them? Maybe he went 804 and then went to 848, but that looks clean. Albeit I would have liked to see him hold it a little longer at the top. But let's compare that to the 804. So this is the 804. From here, from the front, it doesn't look like his shoulders are back. 848. Again, from the front, it looks a little soft knees, little shoulders aren't back enough. But then if we look at the side view, it looks much cleaner. So that actually looks like pretty good extension at the lockout. Now the thing is, did he hold it long enough at the top? That's the real question mark. So I'll admit, this is similar to House. From the front, it looked kind of like a soft lockout. But right here, this looks fairly clean, in my opinion. I would give this 3 whites. The question is, did he hold it long enough at the top? That's the real question. But I don't know. I would honestly give him that one. The 804 almost looks sketchier than the 848. Let's see what else we got here. Jonathan Haack, one of my favorite up-and-coming lifters. All right, so let's see what we got here. John Haack. John Haack, crazy total. 2254 at 198. Like, come on now, guys. I mean, this is absurd. 716, was this his opener right here? Good depth, absolutely smashed it. 760. Good depth again, smashed it. John always looks so shaky on his squats, but you know what? Heck of a lift. 805, good depth. Just didn't quite have enough. But think about this. John probably could have hit like 788 at this meet. Freaking ridiculous. I mean, look at that bench, too. That's just stupid. Come on now, guys. John also benches with what I call a soft pause, where he doesn't really sink the bar and get momentum off his chest, which I think is actually a more beneficial technique, and more people will be stronger with the sink pause as opposed to the soft pause like this. But I think this makes it even crazier that he's doing 589 with a freaking soft pause like that. Absurd. And when you think about it, he probably could have added another 28 to his squat. His total could have really been, what is that, 2282? 2282? Yeah, 2282 is what the potential was there for, which is ridiculous if he had gone a little lighter on his squat attempt. 870 deadlift opener. Another walk in the park. 904. I don't know if this was his second or third, but kind of a grinder, but he got it. Can we talk about how the heck does he make 198? The guy is built much bigger than me right now. I'm like 220, and he's making 198. And he probably walks around at like 215, but come on now. And the crazy thing is he looks as stout here as I did at like 242. So I'm like, how does a 198er... I know he cuts to that, but I cut to 242 and I look the same size as he does here. It just makes no sense. And John's not like short. He's probably 2 inches shorter than me. He's not a short guy, so it's kind of strange. Drinking that coffee. This kind of just defies physics, though. Like, how is he that light? It doesn't make any sense, guys. Makes no freaking sense. Danny Grigsby. Let's take a look at his 1,074 record. Did Jamal do this meet? I don't think he did. 981 opener for Grigsby here. Can we just talk about the first thing that stands out to me with Grigsby? Guy's got the biggest legs ever. His legs are about the size of Dan Green's. Ironically, another Dan. Now that's just stupid easy. That's kind of funny. He's like, come on, guys, throw some weight on the bar. 1,030. You know, the one thing I don't like about this bar has so much freaking flex. It's unreal. Now Grigsby's still toying with it, and every lift he walks off like, come on, y'all, that was too easy. But look at this flex. I mean, this thing is flexing. This is the flex prior to it even moving. I mean, that's absurd. He's completely upright leverages. So I'm not a big fan of the Kabuki deadlift bar because it's just completely changing the game as far as the numbers. The numbers that are falling now are just going to blow away all the numbers from even a few years ago. Like when I was competing, you know, and the thing people got to realize is deadlift bars make such a huge difference depending on which one you're using. Like when I tried my 904 in a meet, it was on a Rogue Ohio deadlift bar, which has noticeably less bend than a Texas deadlift bar. And a Texas deadlift bar looks like a stiff bar compared to the Kabuki deadlift bar. So you see what I'm getting at here, that the numbers are getting more and more skewed. Everyone's pulling huge numbers now, especially with the Kabuki deadlift bar, which is just like the Texas deadlift bar is less bendy than that, and the Ohio deadlift bar is even less bendy, which has barely any give compared to these. So it's kind of unfortunate that they're, you know, you could say, okay, it's good, there's advancements, the numbers are going to get blown out of the water. Pretty soon, Grigsby will outpull Thor's record. And, you know, it's all fair game. I get it. But I just would like to see a better standard across the board. But, hey, give the man credit. The one thing I will say again here, the lockout, I would like to see the shoulders back a little more with these guys. But pretty clean lift. It's just the range of motion, not great. And I'd like to see the shoulders back. But I'm a fan of Grigsby. I'm not hating on the lift. I mean, 1,074, again, pretty ridiculous. Let's take a look at Thistlewaite here. Take a look at Derek Thistlewaite. One last one. Not to overlook Chad Penson. I mean, the guy loaded like 1,080 on accident on his squat. Thistlewaite, very controversial lifter because he talks so much smack to everyone. Buried the depth, though. I mean, that's a tremendous looking squat right there. Can we just look at that for a sec? This is honestly what the standard should be. Now, another thing I'm not crazy about are the ins or knee sleeves. I mean, these things, guys, these things give you a tremendous amount of boost. Tremendous. So, not a real big fan of the ins or knee sleeves. But albeit Derek's ridiculously strong, regardless of this, I think he's mainly competed in wraps, I should say. But let's see here. So he's mainly done wraps the last couple of years. This was back to Raw. This was in my weight class, 2210. My best ever was 2100. Pretty ridiculous. Also, he tried at 948. Yeah, I mean, that's freaking impressive. All these numbers are impressive. How the heck did Grigsby only get 9th when he pulled 1,074? Oh, he only had a 772 squat, you know, not great. No, I'm just kidding. That's freaking amazing. That was my best ever. Grigsby's actually, his bench is his weakest lift, and he's humongous. So Grigsby's freaking numbers are hilarious because this is my best squat, 772 in a meet, and my best bench was 463, but then he just smashes me by 200 pounds on deadlift. I pulled 871. That's so funny. There's some strong guys here, though. I mean, we got Lu Hu, Andy Wang, some of the people I recognize. Unreal. All right. It's funny when you're totaling 2,000 pounds and you're placing 30th. Like, that's freaking hilarious. Look at this guy. Skylar Brand. I recognize Skylar, and it's partially because he's super heavy, but he's 40th in the freaking meet, and he's totaled in 2,000 plus. Even this guy. Have never heard of him. Only 1940, you know. Only. Goodness freaking gracious. Yeah, I don't know, man. Numbers are getting crazy here. But let's go back to Thistlewaite's squat to finish it up here. Just destroyed the depth. Nailed it. I mean, you can't have better depth than that. That's fantastic. That was a great squat. I wonder what he cuts from. This guy, he looks funny as heck, too, with the mustache and all that. 485 bench. I mean, he probably had 500-ish in him. And then 904 deadlift. Now, a lot more range of motion here because it's much more narrow sumo deadlift. That's a clean deadlift. See, that's the one thing I want to talk about, guys. You see how he leans back like that to get his shoulders back? I, I would argue a lot of the deadlifts get locked out right here. No, I can't even stop it that soon. Son of a gun. I'm trying to stop it. Hold on, guys. We'll get this figured out. I'm trying to find that exact point. No. Son of a monkey. All right. Well, my point is a lot of the deadlifts that we see are locked out even before this. Like, I would argue right here his shoulders are back properly, but he goes even further. That's what I want to see on a deadlift typically, is the shoulders back like that. And a lot of the deadlifts are just not locked out. They're like right here. Not even. See, he keeps going too far because he's doing it right. But I would like to see a little more shoulders back on the deadlifts with the chest out. So that's my one critique of everything. But overall, crazy meat. The numbers are falling more and more. Just wish we would, do away with Inzer knee sleeves and the kabuki deadlift bar, or maybe change is a welcome thing. You guys let me know what you think. But it's kind of what my breakdown of the main top guys here at the American Pro. If you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe for the sake of the algorithm. Appreciate it.